Yo guys, welcome back to the Less Anime with your host Agent and Norby, and where we talk about everything anime.
Hello. Hello.
What up? What up? What
Um
up?
so one small but huge announcement. We're gonna discontinue this podcast and instead focus on our YouTube. Nothing much is gonna change besides the fact that there won't be an actual podcast with episodes every week like how we were doing it. On Spotify and on Apple Podcasts or iTunes, whatever fuck. But we're still gonna continue doing that. It's just gonna be strictly on YouTube. So we want to do more in general, and it all starts with building ourselves on the platform first. Or originally we wanted to just do the podcast and just simply just do that every week, and then it would just be that. But there's more to do. There's more to expand on, and we think it's better. It's a much better, smarter route to go that way instead of just beginning out on a podcast.
Yeah.
So
Um,
so say goodbye to that and say hello to us on YouTube. And
yeah, I think it was gonna give us a lot more flexibility, and I think also one just small problem with podcasts, especially when when you first like when you're new, is like people's attention spans are not very long, and it shows that YouTube, the videos that are watched more is shorter videos, like to 10 minutes length usually. So while we might continue the podcast in the future, just focusing on on more
focusing on
videos.
our and on our identity, because
Yeah.
if somebody saw us on a podcast, it's like, who the fuck are we, so there has to be something attached to the slice of anime brand as well. So we're just gonna build that up, and then who knows, maybe down the line we will do another podcast. But for now, I think it's better if we just postpone that.
YouTube videos, yes.
Yeah,
Focus
so
on
yeah,
video.
so pretty much that's pretty much the announcement. It's not really that big of a deal. I'm pretty sure if you guys still want to continue listening to us or watching us, you can still do so just on YouTube and subscribe. But anyways, that's that. So for our third and final episode of the reviews, which we're gonna continue doing just on YouTube again, we're gonna review the daily life of the Immortal King. So this takes place in modern times where strength is measured in spiritual force. You can think of it as a chakra or chi. So in this world, a baby is born with like a ridiculous amount of spiritual force that as he grows up, he basically becomes like a god, right? So this baby, now a teenager, is named Wang Ling, right? Because of his unique level of strength, he has to like mask his emotions using a spiritually infused ribbon of some sort in order to prevent any reckless behavior. Because if you get like emotions too hot and high, with that amount of power, you're probably gonna start bugging out. So now he's attending this new high school where things take a turn, affecting his behavior and possibly his use of his godlike abilities. So that's the background of it. The studio who made this is, I don't know how to pronounce this, hopefully it's pronounced right, Hailliners
Outliners.
Animation
Yeah,
League. Hailliners, I'll type it up on the screen. There's 15 episodes, and the genre is covered in adventure, slice of life, comedy, demons, fantasy, and school. And this is all according to my anime list. And yeah, that checks out. So this was also released in January 18th of 2020, so last year. Nice. Not too old. All right. So what did you think of it?
Well, off rip, so their powers, you know how each show has, their own phrase for power, like you said, like chakra or chi. It is called cultivation. The power is cultivation, and I mean, okay, at first I had no idea this anime was not Japanese. Like off rip, I thought it was gonna be Japanese, and it didn't take me until like the second episode. I was like, hold up.
The second, dude, I knew the first fucking
Bruh,
sentence,
yeah.
bro. I was like, what the fuck?
Bro, I thought I was
Not
tripping. I'm like,
Japanese.
yeah. I was like, wait, they sound so different. Like, am I bugging? But then I realized, and I also realized, technically, this is not called anime. This is called a donghua. Chinese animation is, yes, Chinese animation is donghua. But still,
Yes.
technically, we all see it. Yeah, we all see it as anime, but is it donghua? first, I mean, my general thoughts about the show, I really didn't know much going in. I didn't even watch a trailer or anything, but I just saw that it was gonna be, you know, like some sort of, yeah, like a fantasy anime that takes place in high school, because, you know, anime always takes place in high school. But I thought the series was all right. It was entertaining at some points, at other points really not so much. But I actually thought that, like, it kept your interest, and the episodes aren't very long, which is actually a good thing in this case, because, you know, it just helps you keep your attention span longer. I thought that the action scenes were actually pretty cool. Like, they did, the animation studio really did a great job, actually, and I thought, you know, things looked pretty. There was, you know, like a lot of colors on the screen, which, if you're into that, you know, that's pretty dope. You follow the story of Wang Ling, and so he's the main character, and the second main character is Sun Rong, which is the other female protagonist, which, you know, you spend a lot of time with during the show. And, you know, they have the, like, almost a typical anime relationship where it's like they're friends, but, you know, like, they technically grow feelings for
but
each
he
other.
hates her. Yeah, but he
Yes,
well,
but
not
he
that,
hates
not that
her.
he hates her, but he's like very very neutral, or like he doesn't care about her. Like, he's just like whatever.
Yeah.
And that's because he
'Cause,
doesn't have any emotions, right?
Yeah, because well, Wang Ling is a very, some people might say boring, some people might say interesting character, because technically he's like super duper duper old. You know, if you really want to get to the
Wait, what?
Like, isn't he technically super old?
Is he? Is he?
Isn't he?
I don't know. Is he? I thought I saw him as he was born from a baby. I don't know. Maybe I missed something. You tell me.
Yeah, look.
I'm assuming he's like 18 years
interesting
old.
details in the daily life of the Immortal King that especially focus on the changes in Wang Ling's life now that he's 16 headed to high school. Wang Ling has a carefree attitude. But yeah, he's actually a million years old due to how he cultivated several realms already and experienced an exceptional amount of life off screen in the anime. Yeah. Well, it's weird because he himself is young, but like, I mean, as you know, because when as the anime progresses, a lot of narrative is spoken by his inner thoughts, and, you know, a lot of it he almost like speaks of himself like in the third person at times.
I did not. Wow, I didn't catch up on that. I thought he was just like just hella strong. He was just born and he's just fucking super born with like the oldest strength.
Yeah, no. So as you see that he's not like a big talker, and a lot of, you know, the way he really speaks to the audience is, you know, in his mind, and he's not actually like speaking to people. You know, he's more like just saying his, like, you know, thoughts on the situation and how he feels about it. Yeah, because as apparently, I mean,
are you sure that's his inner monologue? I feel like that was just a general narrator, you know.
Isn't it both? Isn't it kind of, because it's not like he narrates everything. He narrates what he feels and how he's feeling at that
I know
moment.
he I don't know about that. I know that he's narrated mad general shit, even things that he hasn't even seen, like things that are happening somewhere else that he's not in. So that gave me the idea, but I don't know, maybe you are right that he narrated his feelings and shit. I just don't remember. I personally didn't like the narrator. I actually thought he was fucking annoying as shit.
Oh no,
and he kind of killed the mood. No, I know you were explaining like what it was, but
yeah, and I'm not that big of a fan either, because that's why I said, like, some people might view it as boring, because I just feel like
it was more than boring. It was annoying to me.
Because it's like a lot of times, especially like at the start of the show, like, you know, towards the first half, he's not really saying much. It's more like just like, you know, the narration, and he's just kind of doing him, and he seems to be a reactionary character, which he doesn't push the story forward. You know, he reacts to the events that are going on around him as he tries to live his, you know, normal life, because he doesn't want to destroy the world with his godlike power. So yeah, I found him like a little boring. I wish I got to like see him like use his powers more, because I thought the powers, like, they all looked, I thought like it looked cool. The stuff kind of looked cool.
Yeah, when you were mentioning the animation part, it's like it was good. It was good animation, right? It was good, but it looked nice. It looked clean. It looked very pretty and appealing. But in terms of like the fighting and the action and all the shit that they could have done, it wasn't like really expanded on. Like it's like they didn't do much with it. You know, there was just so much potential built up, but like they just didn't go through with it. They used it. It's like they used a lot of animation. I picked up on that. Like they used a lot of like cool animation, in scenes that really didn't need it, and then scenes that they did need it, they just didn't use it, which is very weird to me. And you don't really see the big bang, the whole like glory of that animation. You can't take it all in until the very last episode is, you know, or second to last.
For sure.
But it was just like, damn, like I don't know, there's just so many missed moments or shit. And is it me? But like in terms of the audio, aside from like, you know, they're talking in a different language that I'm not used to watching, but aside from that, I feel like there was like a delay, or like the volume was just like fucked with or something. To me, like things were like not synced correctly with how they were talking, or the sound effects, or like whatever they were interacting with.
At times, yeah. Actually, at
things
times, yeah.
desynced.
So if you watch it on Netflix, keep in mind on that, because sometimes you might. Yeah, I actually agree. I feel like that happened.
Yeah, and the volume
Sometimes
too is like
too.
it was shifting for some reason. Like some people were talking like when they're the main focus of the fucking screen, and they're talking, like sometimes they're just low as shit. And I swear to God, my volume was like skyrocketed. So it was very weird. I don't know what the fuck was happening there. So a lot of audio issues I was getting. But
no, I agree. When I was watching it, I have my Chromecast plugged into my monitor, and I watch my Netflix through there, and I have my speakers plugged into my monitor, and I had it at max volume, and some parts were just like super low, but then it got super loud for like a second, then just like everything, just the audio was kind of like all out of whack. And in terms of the fighting scenes, yeah, they were kind of, to me, like this whole show to me is kind of like a tease, because like you have great animation, you know, you use great colors, you have even great choreography. Is just I believe that, one, I don't think Wang Ling is that interesting of a character. Two, I don't think the fight scenes were long enough. I think they were great. It was like, you know, great burst of good animation in the, you know, very short scene, but like the fight scenes were very few and, you know, like they weren't very expanded upon. They were just like very short lasting, and I wish we could have seen more. Apparently a second season is coming though,
which
we
might actually watch. Who knows? But also yeah, like these characters, I never like really got too attached with them. Like there was not much going on for them. There was no like goals that they had. There was not much that they went deep into. They did go through some backstories, but like there's not anything that like I really gave a fuck about. If literally any one of them died, I probably would not care, unless the main character died. If he died, I'd probably stop watching. He's probably the only reason anybody would watch this, right? Literally. So it was very weird in that way, that like I really didn't care. I kind of like what made me watch it was the animation, probably, and that it was kind of funny. It was pretty fucking funny, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like laughed a lot of the times over the dumbest shit.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, to not bag on it too much, the show, it also falls in the genre of slice of life, because there's like, it's not all about fantasy action. A lot of it is just, you know, the daily life of him trying to live his life and not, you know, expose his powers. And so it has a lot of comedic moments, and I'm somebody who, I don't really laugh at a lot of anime because a lot of it is not funny. This show was actually pretty funny. Like, it had a lot of comedic moments that made me laugh, which keeps you interested in terms of, you know, the Wang Ling and the Sung Rong relationship. But the other people, I wasn't really interested in them. I didn't get attached to like any characters or really like.
Wow. And I didn't think that there was much going, like he's like this emotionless character, so it's hard for him to get attached to other people and maintain these relationships. And I'm actually surprised that he even made any relationships, any friends there, right? Because he is emotionless. So therefore, as a viewer, it's like how the fuck do you like really like how do you like really like go by watching this without there being any sort of that? So it had to be because of the comedy, of course. Well, where was I going with this? But there's also this. It's just very weird how like towards the end you like start to realize there's like a whole reveal in the end where they fucking where they show that like, oh, he actually does in fact have feelings for this chick, and you would have never guessed it, because I didn't guess it. I didn't fucking know there was like actually. I thought they were just hanging out in the beginning, where Sun Rong and Wang had that little date or whatever. They were just chilling to me.
I could see how she got feelings, but I actually didn't expect him to really like. In terms of
yeah, she was like head over heels for this guy, but he on the other hand did not give a fuck until the very end, where that was that whole reveal again, and they lift his emotions, and which was really good. I actually like that, because now there's like something going on now, like there's emotion again, there's something that he's attached to, therefore as a viewer I'm like, oh shit. The show's over, and then the show's over. Yeah, it was very weird. So it really is like one of those, I feel like it's one of those animes where like the studios just like grab the story just so they can like flex their animation abilities, but they don't really, they disregard the plot and what the fuck it's really about, or they just don't care. There's no story anyway.
If I'm not mistaken, it is based off of they're based off a light novel. Although I think this did a good job in showing what the studio can do, though. I do give it that, because like we said, it's very pretty, and I like the general art style. I generally like the more like boxy corners.
I like it too. Yeah, I do think
I like
that
when my screen is really colorful.
Right? But like, who doesn't, bro? Like studios, I feel like they should not be as keen on just doing that and only leaving it at that. I like pretty shit, but I like substance with it. I like things that actually fucking make sense, and that connect, and that gets me like really at the edge of my seat, like what's gonna happen and shit. You only get the comedy, you only get the fucking fighting shit until the very end, where you're actually like, oh shit, this this actually goes a little bit deeper than what it is. But it's like there's no hint of that in the beginning at all. In the end, he gets his emotions back, right? And it's really I think it was actually very sad, the way it ended. It was like very sad. You know why?
What did you think is sad?
So I think because like the way he ended it, he got his emotions, but and he was able to share this experience with that girl that he apparently liked, but he didn't really express at all because he had no emotions in the moment back then. But then he had to it's like time fucking travel happened or whatever the fuck. They had to rewind time. So she technically never got to experience that moment where he actually did express those meaningful thoughts, and what like that he actually kind of did like her. And then his father was like, you know what, you gotta do this for the world, whatever, let me put this ribbon back on you so we can mask your emotions again, and you'll never experience this lovey shit that you had going on. It's sad because it's like your existence is pretty much a show, and you're not, and the person that's really deep in there that got to like have his moment for just a day or less than a day, very like short amount of time, he only had that moment for a bit, and then he went back into his shell, and his inner Wang, I guess, is just there like screaming. That's what I got from it. He's like screaming like, yo, like I want to like actually do these things, but I can't because I'm too fucking powerful. So that was the only thing that like was deep in this whole show to me. Yeah. And
what's funny enough, the reason why I get it, but it didn't make me feel that way, because one, I feel like, so with the 15 episodes, I feel like half of it, they were just kind of doing things for the sake of making memories. So then later at the end, oh my God, we've done all this, we're so close, yada yada yada. But it's like, because to be honest with you, you don't understand how long I was waiting for the whole competition thing to like begin, and it's like by the time it does, like we're already halfway through the show, and they're just kind of just doing stuff, I guess. And so oh man, so like at the end I was just like, yeah, I get it, and oh shit, he likes her. Oh, that. So yeah, like I was like, oh, that's kind of sad. But I was like, yeah, the show, I was a little disconnected from it just because like.
I understand. I get attached very easily to like things like that. Like when there's like a little sad moment, I don't know why, but like since there was nothing else going on, that was like the big thing to me. So I get more attached to that feeling a lot. So Yeah, I'm more sensitive to these type of things. But I understand where you're coming from. I get it. There's like no build up. You didn't get like a hint. They're just showing shit just to show shit. There's no emotion or anything, any meaning behind it. So I totally understand that.
Yeah, and then like one of the big plot points was supposed to be how, you know, the cultivation powers and how, you know, these powers, but like I feel like they never even really got that much deep into it, where I still don't know much about it, instead of just people, you know, just kind of having powers. And I'm still not really sure about, you know, the cultivation and the importance and, you know, what is it mainly used for, because really they're just kind of, you know, they're just kind of just using it, just have these powers. So they could have gone more in depth with that. I just feel like, and again, I really dislike when main characters just kind of sit there all quiet, and like, you know, you need to have some sort of ambition and do something. Like,
yeah, I personally don't
that's
like.
just me personally.
I personally don't like animations, or I mean main characters that are just OP from the get-go, you know? I don't like watching shows like that unless they get balanced out, like what they did with One Punch Man, or with the comedy that they did in here. So normally if they did not have that, I would have dropped the shit instantly. I would have probably gave this like a 5 out of 10 overall. But because of what happened and what they did and how it was kind of balanced with like the comedy and shit, it's a little bit higher than that. It's a little bit higher than a 5. But let's not get into the ratings right now. Is there any other dislikes? I think I've said a few of mine.
I don't like the music choices from the opening to the closing to the music used in the anime itself. I didn't like it.
There was some scenes where like they used music that didn't fit it at all, and I caught like that was very noticeable to me. But it's not like something that happened all the time. It was just that scene. Maybe it was just that scene. Maybe there's a couple scenes, but I really noticed it in this one scene. They just had this song that just did not match the tone at all, and that might fucking matter to some people watching it that are possibly thinking about watching this. But I think most people that are watching this review right now, this particular one, it is spoilers, so you probably already seen it, so you know what the fuck we're talking about, maybe. But
yeah,
but that caught me very off
maybe,
guard. Yeah. And
for sure, you could tell us what they enjoyed from it, because I like the colors, I like the you know, the animation, but honestly, that's pretty much as far as I'd go. And like you said, if I were to give it a rating from a 1 to a 10, I'd probably give it like a 5. And am I excited for the second season? No. Will I watch it? Maybe. You know, although it does, to me, it is a gateway though. At least it was a gateway for me for it. Now I am a little slightly more interested in trying a couple of more anime from Chinese studios and see what, you know, what they got. And because, you know, they could, you know, come up with some pretty cool stuff too. So yeah, besides that, they didn't really do much for me.
Yeah, there's no deep plot. You know, it's very shallow, in fact, that it doesn't go beyond the scope of just showing how strong the main character really is. Like, without the ribbon on his neck or the pill that he takes, the world blows up. It's a very ridiculous premise, and I didn't really
even all of that kind of made no sense whatsoever. I didn't get it.
But because of the humor, it made me stay. You know, because of like the animation, mostly the humor, I think, because you can get animation in a lot of things. And it's getting to the point where I've seen so many that I might even like not watch it solely because of how animated it is, because you need some hype behind it, you know?
Yeah, and you know, which is what I always say, that exactly, things can look cool, but I need to have a reason on why they look cool. They just can't look cool for the sake of looking cool, because then it's just, you know, then it's just kind of a bunch of colors flashing. But you like to feel for the characters and feel for the situation, you know, and which is why things are cool, because of the build up. And, you know, and then when things finally get, you know, to the peak climax, you're like, oh shit, this shit was so epic. But like, for example, like some of the fights were cool, but I wasn't really invested. So I was just like, that was pretty cool. But then, not really it.
I feel like Wang wasn't meant for like this world, for this anime world. He should have been in a much better anime. Like, this character has so much potential. And I mean, he's OP or whatever, but like, I love the combination of the nonchalant guy with red eyes, the doggo dynamic, the dog toad dynamic, And you don't really see that as like a minion. I don't really think you see a dog minion that often. And even his love for just fucking noodles, like all these little traits that come up, really made a pretty interest. It was not very like interesting. Like he wasn't interesting, but like you don't really see that too often. And all that combination itself, I would really rather watch him if he was in a different anime and like any of the other ones. But this one just he just he didn't fit here. On the show. Yeah, I feel like he didn't fit here too well. Like he was like he, because there just could have been a lot more done, and it wasn't done. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of cringe moments too in these things. I think there was a scene where that bald guy, where he was in the tournament, that bald guy that has I don't even know his name, bro, but you'll know what I'm talking about right now when I mentioned that he has those fucking big yellow glowy arms out of nowhere, bro. Those big fat yellow arms, dude.
Mm-hmm.
He just gets up and starts, I don't know, floating, or just, it looks so, bro. That episode was so cringe and bad to me.
Chao Chen, what's his name? Chao Chen.
Oh my god, dude, that was so, I don't know what the fuck that was about. What is that? Well, it was so bad. And I think that same episode, there was some inconsistency with that girl with Song Rong, right? She was about to get, and she was about to like place her sword into this like this thing where you need to like score points or whatever, and this fucking fat dude that apparently is like weak as shit, right? He's weak as shit, and this Song Rong chick is like pretty fucking she's pretty powerful, she's pretty strong and shit, and this guy fucking says words, and it like shot right to her in this cave where she was supposed to put this sword down, and bro, she shielded it. She's a strong person. You would think that this strong person would this strong person wouldn't fucking be bothered by a little puny weakling fat boy that just that says words as his little magic or whatever. But it did. It fucking caught her off guard. She blocked it, but I guess she went down to the floor, and it made no sense. According to the scores that I saw, that shouldn't have been anything but like a fucking fly in the air to her, and I don't know, that knocked her down, and that caused like a whole bunch of shit to go sideways. I know I might be nitpicking here, but it's something like that really threw me off, and like really, like it just bothered me a lot. You could say that it just really bothered me a lot. But if anybody else caught on to that, kudos.
I see it.
I don't know.
Yeah, sadly, because of its shortcomings to me, it's just another throwaway anime and like nothing really special.
Yeah. Again, and when you mention openings and closings, damn, this review might be a little bit all over the place, but fuck it, we don't really care, So the opening, I actually thought wasn't all that, right? I think the opening was pretty whack to me. The closing though, I actually did enjoy. If I could have that on my Spotify, I would.
You would?
It was very chill. Yeah, it was very soft, relaxing, super soothing. It was like this girl, right? She was like doing vocals. It was so relaxing to me. I actually went on Spotify and I tried downloading or getting that song. Yeah, but they didn't have it. They did, but they were like, "Yo, bro, it's not available in your country." I'm like, "Come on, bro, what?" Yeah, it was so weird. Yeah, I guess, I don't know, some bullshit, but it was really nice. The piano and everything, I really fucked with it. The beginning, actually, now that I do remember, it starts out really shit. I'm not gonna lie, it's really shit. But then like the opening scenes, the opening, what do you want to call it? The opening clip or whatever. When people are fighting, and then he starts going ham. Like the guy that's singing this shit starts like actually, it gets more upbeat, and there's like some little bit of techno EDM shit going on. It was actually not bad. I actually kind of enjoyed them. So personally, I would probably give it like a 5 out of 10 for the opening. The ending, I'd probably give it like a 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed these female vocals, The other thing that I actually did want to mention was the second to last episode. I think it was like the best episode. I think that was like the best episode. He spills his bottled emotions, and he goes over his memory and what he was thinking during those memories, because again, he was like this shell, but inside he was actually like, he's still fucking observing and seeing what the fuck is happening, what this shell is actually doing. And it was really nice. It was really touching, and it really like, okay, now I actually feel bad. If this guy actually died, I'd probably be really upset. And that rage scene, we all love rage scenes, right? In this anime community, I think we all love like when somebody fucking gets tight as shit and starts going a little bit crazy, berserk, right? But I think they could have done a little bit more. I think like if he really gave a fuck about this chick and she apparently died right in front of him, I feel like he should have been a little bit madder. But of course, that maybe I'm wrong, maybe whatever. Personally, I think he should have been a little bit madder, a little bit tighter. But he did go a little bit crazy on that chick that killed her, or quote unquote killed her. He started fucking her up. That was probably like the best scene overall out of the whole fucking season. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah,
I think it was episode 14.
The best episode. Yeah, episode 14 was the best one. I think so too. When he went on his little rage burst and flexed her, I think that was the best episode.
That shit is fire. The last episode though, it was very messy. I actually didn't like that whole thing that they did with another world and time, and it was very messy.
That was weird.
He even says it himself. He wants like world peace, and then he gets that ribbon placed on him to mask his emotions. They didn't really make sense to me too much. I was really like, I want world peace. Oh yeah, let me just fuck your thoughts and your emotions, like it was very weird. But I guess that's how they wanted to end it. Maybe they're like, I don't know, maybe they just like, let's just get this over with, we want to move on to a different story or whatever. That's what the writers maybe fucking thought. I don't know. It was messy, but it was kind of sad. I did feel for him. It made it seem like he'll forever suffer the consequences of being this OP emotionless person and never really getting the girl he really wants. So that's pretty much what I thought overall. It was good humor wise. It was good fighting, animation wise. Could have been better. Could have been much better. But overall rating, I'd probably say a 7 out of 10. Yeah, a 7.
I give it a 6 out of 10.
A 6. Yeah. For what it is, I think a 6. All right. Yeah, I could understand that. So that was the daily life of the Immortal King. Also, very long ass fucking title. But, I'm not a fan of long ass titles, especially when I gotta type this shit up.
And I feel like they're getting longer and longer. I don't get it.
And they're getting longer. Like, yeah, there's like a whole meme too behind it. I was saying the fucking time I went to a dungeon and killed this and then went home and cooked it. It's like a whole meme now. It's fucking stupid. But that really wraps up this review. Again, we are going to not continue the podcast until further notice. Yep, maybe in the future, who knows? But from here on out, we'll be directing our efforts into our content on YouTube. So see us over there and hit that subscribe button for your slice of anime. Very corny. But yeah. Also, hold up. The next anime that we're going to be reviewing is going to be... What is it going to be?
The Great Pretender.
The Great Pretender, yeah. So that's pretty much. I hope you guys have a good one. If you liked the video, like it. If you didn't, all right, take care, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.